Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Making It Big. I'm your host, A.B. Ravi. The city of Bangalore seems to have too many attributes. It is known as the Garden City, the Silicon Valley of India. It is the hub for biotechnology companies like Biocon. It is the R&D center for MNCs like Bosch, Google, Microsoft, ABB, Mercedes-Benz. It is headquarters for PSU giants like BEL, HAL, BEML, HMT. But in all this, there is one discernible trend that is slowly but surely emerging. It is the breeding ground for entrepreneurs, both in the old economy space and the new economy space. This, to my mind, has not happened by design, but default. Maybe it has got to do with Bangalore's climate, its culture, or overall environment. There are no real answers, but there are proof that this city has produced iconic entrepreneurs and great companies year after year. Some of the names that come to my mind are those of Narayana Murthy, Nandan Nilekani, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, Azim Premji, Sachin Bansal, Dr. Devi Shetty, and Rajiv Chandrasekhar. I could go on and on. Part of this long list is three names: Mr. V. Sathe, Benedict Machado, and S Shirgurkar. They are certainly low profile, but have added to Bangalore's charm by setting up Ace Designer some 35 years back. This company is India's largest manufacturer of CNC turning machines and has remained the undisputed leader, manufacturing some 25,000 CNC lathe machines. Take a look at Ace Designer's story and it will show you how to create a niche for yourself in any space if you are determined to make it big.
Three colleagues sitting next to each other in the office for over a decade never dreamt that they would come together to form India's largest machine tool manufacturing company. That company is Ace Designers. And the three are A.V. Sathe, Benedict Machado, and S Shirgurkar. Sathe is an M.Tech from IIT Mumbai, Machado a mechanical engineer from NIT Surathkal in Mangalore, and Shirgurkar a mechanical engineer from BMS Engineering Institute in Bengaluru. In the 1970s, they were all working at the Central Manufacturing Technology Institute, a government research and development organization in Bengaluru focusing on providing technology solutions to the manufacturing sector. Not finding growth opportunities at CMTI, the three decided to quit and dived into entrepreneurship.
We were all working in CMTI, and I was the chief designer in CMTI, and they were in the design office. They are actually almost 10 years younger than me, both of them. And I left CMTI in say 76 to start at Pragati Engineering. And because I was a designer and I had so many contacts with machine tool world, so many people started asking me whether we can design machines for them. So, and then of course, Shirgurkar and Machado were known to be the best designers in best new designers in CMTI. And I came to know that they are ready to leave. They wanted to take a job somewhere in Pune. So I approached them whether such inquiries are coming. We can start on our own as a design firm. And then they got interested. So we started this as Ace Designers, was supposed to be a design office basically. And then I had left earlier also as a government employee. They were also government, no money with anybody. But the design office doesn't require much of it, requires only earlier experience and talent. So that way we started, we didn't invest anywhere. Shirgurkar had a garage in his house, so we used that.
Ace Designers came into being in 1979. After about 3 years, the partners saw that not a single design of theirs hit the market as a product. Not because of any fault of theirs, but manufacturers were not able to convert those designs into final products. That made the three partners decide to move to manufacturing their own designs in 1982. Luckily, they got their first major assignment from an engine valve company of the Micromatic Group to manufacture a range of special purpose machine tools. This company was importing these machines at a high price from the UK. It gave Ace designers an advance to make 6 machines. With the money earned, the partners bought their first lathe machine. The timing of moving to manufacturing was just right. Ace designers had developed a copy turning machine for car valves, or what they termed as an auto lathe, a multi-slide automatic production turning machine. That coincided with the auto boom of the early 1980s. The Ace designers' auto lathe became very popular with the auto component and two-wheeler industry. What this clearly established was that Ace designers could make import substitution products quickly and, most importantly, cost-effectively. Similarly, in 1986, Ace designers saw that the computer numerical control turning machines, or CNC lathe, was being imported by Indian companies from Japan with a host of import restrictions. Ace designers developed the CNC lathe indigenously with absolutely no foreign tie-ups. Its product bagged the Best Design Award at the Indian Metal Cutting Tool Exhibition, or IMTEX as it is popularly known. That saw big clients like Bajaj Auto and Godrej give them huge orders. Slowly, even the vendors of the auto majors began sourcing from Ace. Since then, Ace Designers has rapidly grown to become India's largest manufacturer of CNC turning machines and has remained the undisputed leader for nearly 2 decades. Ace Designers has a 30% share of the Indian CNC lathe market size of 8,000 machines per year. Its manufacturing setup is spread over 2 facilities in Peenya Industrial Estate at Bengaluru and has the capacity to produce 3,000 machines per year. Ace has supplied more than 25,000 CNC lathe machines, of which 65% goes to the automotive sector. Today, all major auto and auto component companies are Ace's clients.
I remember quite clearly it was in the year 1990. We were thinking as a company to graduate to CNC machines from conventional SPMs. Our collaborators in Japan and in Germany were already using CNC machines, but there was a lot of apprehension in our mind. It is at that point of time that we came in contact with Ace for the first time. Our experience with Ace since then has been very good. They have demonstrated great commitment towards quality. They deliver on time. They are extremely customer centric, and that is the reason why we have 450 or 500 machines now sourced for pistons, for rings, for engine valves in our plant.
To be an indigenous manufacturer and manufacture at a cost-effective price, the 3 partners realized they need to get into backward and forward integration as well as marketing of their own products. That saw the formation of the Ace Micromatic Group, which today includes a wide range of machine tool companies such as Auto CNC Machining, Ace Manufacturing Systems, Ace Multi-Axis Systems, Micromatic Machine Tools, Pragati Automation, Micromatic Grinding Technologies, Ace Manufacturing Intelligence Technologies, Spurti Machine Tools, Ace Designers Foundry Division. In the mid-90s, revenues were still in the range of only 50 to 60 crore rupees. It is then that the partners harped on the strategy to get into more large-scale manufacturing and manufacturing of standardized CNC turning machines at cheaper costs. It introduced the Jobber series, which was a hit in the market. All this saw Ace Designers' turnover touch the 100 crore rupee mark in 2003-2004 and then zoom to 490 crore rupees by 2011-2012. The net profit over the same period increased from 7 crore rupees to 57 crore rupees. Today, the entire Ace Micromatic Group turnover is 1,200 crore rupees with an employee strength of 2,500 people. The group today manufactures 1/3 of machine tools produced in India by value in the organized sector. Ace Designers has been facing a slowdown in its business over the last couple of years, consequent to the slowdown in the auto and engineering sector. The turnover dipped to 334 crore rupees in 2013-2014 and then rose to 435 crore rupees in 2014-2015. The net profit dipped to 17 crore rupees in 2013-2014 and then rose marginally to 18 crore rupees in 2014-2015. Well, like most companies catering to the capex sectors, Ace Designers has got itself all ready to tap the upturn in the economy. Besides, it has set up offices in China and Germany to tap the export market. Ace Designers has set a turnover target of 1,800 crore rupees by 2020, with the entire Ace Micromatic Group target of 4,000 crore rupees. Coming up after the break, CNBC TV 18's Veena Krishna talks to the two partners S Shirgurkar and Benedict Machado to understand how they plan to be amongst the top 10 machine tool manufacturers in the world, and that too 100% indigenous. Also joining us is banker Sandeep Uppal of HSBC. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It is remarkable to see that the three promoters of Ace Designers learned the art and science of designing machine tools while working at the government-run CMTI and emerged as the undisputed leader of CNC lathe machines. CNBC TV 18's Veena Krishna caught up with S Shirgurkar and Benedict Machado at the Bangalore office to find out what kind of strategy are they putting in place to hit the turnover of 1,800 crore rupees by 2020. This is what they have to say. Take a look.
Mr. Shirgurkar, Mr. Machado, Sandeep, thank you for joining us. So, you started off as a designing company, but then in 3 years you wanted to be a manufacturing company. Why is that?
What happened was we designed over 24 machines in the first 3 years to various customers. The model was that we would design and a machine tool company will buy that design from us and he would manufacture, he would market and service the machines. At the end of 3 years, we really saw that not a single machine was really hit the market as a product. No doubt some special machines were made, but not as a product. So we were pretty frustrated with that idea because our designs, unless they see the light of the day, we don't have the confidence of running a business. Though we were making a reasonable amount of money, but this frustration led us to manufacture. And we realized that design was one element of a successful product. You have to produce, you have to sell, you have to create a brand, you have to support. And all of that put together makes a product successful and not just a good design. So that's why we said, if we have to be in business, let's go into manufacturing of machines.
So, Mr. Machado, how did that first order happen?
We were trying to do some bits and pieces of engineering support to a local company. At that time, it was known as Car Valves Limited. The MD had assigned us some work, which he was quite impressed. And then he showed us a couple of machines, which were imported at that time from UK. He said, can you do some of these machines for us? Because some of the key elements, which they had already imported. So we had to build a machine only around the key element. And it was quite easy for us. So we built about 3 machines. And with the proceeds of those 3 machines, we bought our first lathe, the Kirloskar Enterprise lathe was the first investment we made out of the proceeds of this order.
From 15 crores turnover that you had in 1994-95, in a decade, about 2004-2005, you were 100 crore turnover. So what would you say were the propellers of growth and what were the strategies behind that growth?
What happened was, as we started making CNC lathes and we were already making some special turning machines, the senior people in the organization, they sat together and said, let's pitch a vision for ourselves. And we said that we would like to be a large-scale manufacturer and not a specialized machine manufacturer. And we're already in turning, so we said we'll be a large-scale turning machine manufacturer. With that as a vision, when we were extremely small. So that with that vision, we started trying to deploy that vision. So we had to produce machines in large volume. We had to, we were trying to make that anything that we produced should be in large volume. We had to sell in large volume. And that's how we started building an ecosystem for our company. But the important thing was, we had come out with 2 or 3 size of machines. A very popular size in the job shop market was a machine of about 150, 160 diameter and about 400 millimeters, was a very popular requirement. And we were selling at 15.5 lakhs. And we're calling it a model called LT16. Then, to really make a large-scale sale of these, and we were selling about 50 machines a year, we said, why not we experiment by reducing the price of the machine and create affordability for more and more job shops.
Okay.
So we strategically re-engineered the machine and priced it at 13.5 lakhs. And what we were selling 50 machines a year became 300 machines in year 1. And in year 3, it became 1,000 machines a year. So that gave us an insight saying that even machine tools are quite price sensitive. And we enabled a market growth which fitted our vision to be a large-scale manufacturer. So that's how from a small number to a large number gave us the higher turnover.
So, would it be right to say you're moving in some sense to a standardized kind of thing from customized, because your Jobber series did well and it's almost contributing more than 60% to your turnover? That's
right. So what we did was, first of all, we named it as Jobber. In fact, a lot of people know us as Jobber machine manufacturer. Okay. So that's a kind of become an industry standard. And it was targeted for a job shop, priced for a job shop, everything ready to be used in a job shop and so on. So that gave us, to meet the objective of large-scale manufacturing, we have to go into a large volume manufacturing, and also that will be required in large numbers. So therefore, we said we will not do in the special purpose machine. Or we ask, whenever there is a new machine requirement, will it fit our large-scale requirement? If it does not fit, that does not interest us. Okay. So that's how we built that we shall be in the business of literally a commodity kind of a machine. That's the chosen strategy.
Okay. So Sandeep, they operate in a very competitive environment. So according to you, what makes Ace Designers stand out?
One is, when you look at it, engineering skill set is core to the management to the company. That's given the history and the journey they've gone through. Secondly, vintage helps, because in an industry like this, people want companies who've been around, and they like companies where they've tried their products and the repeat orders there. So I guess 35 years of history is a huge advantage. Then is also the fact of timing. When they started in 1980, also coincided with, I would say, the real growth of the autocomp sector in India, which was in a way spearheaded by some of the OEs, but especially Maruti in the north. So a lot of the growth of autocomp coincided with the establishment of Ace. And last, which I see as a huge advantage, is what we can call integration, because as was described earlier, started from design, got into manufacturing, machining, casting, and now looking at, you could say, the forging side. So, and plus at the same time looking at markets other than India as well. So that's kind of worked well, and it's a complete model.
Okay. So like Sandeep said, Mr. Shirgurkar, do you think that is the reason maybe you have set up so many companies in the group, like you have 8 companies under the Ace Micromatic Group?
Actually, all these companies got evolved, something like this. For example, when we said we want to produce large volume, we had to invest on machines which can produce our parts in large volume and accurate by process. So one example is that we set up a company to produce our large castings, to machine those large castings. No, that required expensive machines, which were at that point of time something like about 1 crore of rupees, was a big amount of money for us.
Okay.
So if we had invested in our own company, we would not be able to use the full capacity, and then it would become a big burden for us. So we said we'll set up a separate company to make large parts, and we set up a company called Ace Multi-Axis Limited. And in that, the model was that they will produce 50% for us and 50% for somebody else, so that we get what we want, and we are not burdened with the overheads of a machine which will not be fully utilized. So we even produce parts for competitors. So like that, we set up a large part manufacturing company. Today, all these companies are doing very well. And together we have built a solid ecosystem to produce machines in large quantity.
So all three partners have, stuck together for now 3 decades now. Quite incredible. So what would you attribute that to?
I think one is we have grown together. In fact, right from our very first job has been together and sitting together, and Mr. Sate was our boss. So we all come with the same background, and all of us have the same passion of the machine tools. And I think one of the most important factors that has kept us together is our strategy. And from the day one, we said we shall run our business on the most ethical lines. We shall never create unaccounted money. We shall not promote unaccounted money. We will not deal with anybody who demands money. So with the result, we have built a very ethical organization. There is no reason for us to mistrust each other. This trust and the common passion of machine tool has kept us together and will keep us together further. Even now our children are coming into the business, and then though we have been working with some unwritten rules, now we are trying to formalize it with some family councils and so on and so that in the next few generations also we have this unity continuing.
Mr. Machado, you want to add?
I completely agree with them.
Yeah, Mr. Shirgurkar, Machado, Sandeep, thank you for joining us.
Well, that was Shirgurkar and Machado, very clear about the road ahead. These are the mantras they implemented to build ace designers. Strategy of being a large-scale manufacturer, effectively adopting price elasticity, moving towards commoditization of machine tools, tapping on in-house engineering skill sets present in the entire value chain of machine tool manufacturing. Very focused mantras, I would say. Before I go, here is an interesting observation from Thomas Jefferson, and I quote him: "If you want something you never had, you must be willing to do something you have never done," unquote. On that thinking note, it is time to say goodbye. See you next week with another interesting episode. Till then, keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.